Welcome to Empowered to Grow, the podcast. I am your host, Hanan Basha, the business doctor. Following our conversations with empowered women who woke up one day and consciously claimed, I am more than enough, I am worthy, I am empowered to grow. And along their empowering journey towards realizing their own potential and their quest for growth, they became a beacon of hope and guidance for others. May you also find your inner power to grow. Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Empower to Grow podcast. This is your host, Hanan Basha, and this is our second part. As always, I can never stop when I have an amazing guest, so we keep talking. This is our second part with our beautiful, beautiful star, Egyptian indie singer, Nesma Mahgoub, and we go on to Unchartered lands. But we were talking in between the recordings, and of course, Nesma now goes back and she started teaching at university, and you started teaching performance and performance arts, and part of that was your decision that you wanted to pass on the message and empower others in their own sense. So why don't you tell us a bit about that?
I felt that I've always felt that I wanted to help others grow. It's just a feeling inside of me. And I don't mean like I'm not like you. No, I don't have a degree in doing that.
Actually, my degree is not doing that at all. It's completely different. I just chose a different route to how to, as you said, I think it was a different application of how to utilize the education I got in a different setting, a different light on people's lives.
Yeah, I've always done it when I was school and done it when I was in the university, especially in music, because I have a big passion in music, and I love the academics. I'm really the girl I'm the nerdy girl who loves to study.
Embrace the nerdiness.
Yes, I really like that. So I've always been there helping out people understand stuff and just explaining stuff. And I was a teaching assistant for a while. So after a few years of graduation, I just felt that I needed to do something with that. Like I had that skill and I had that like mini passion in teaching. So I decided to go back to the university because I knew that our music program lacked a few points when I was an undergrad. The problem is in the world, not in the world, let's say in the Arab world, that when you teach music, you only expose the student to either Arabic singing, like Oriental singing, or classical singing, which is the opera and all of the old styles of music. But the pop scene and the rock scene and all of those hundreds of years
of genres of different things,
of genres, that evolved after those eras, are just considered to be, I don't know, it's just they're undermined somehow. So I've decided to go back to the AUC and introduce a few new courses that I would like to teach, because I believe that my experience in music is more into these areas. Although I have my degree was in classical and in musicals and somehow in Arabic as well. But I felt that there is a big gap, and most of the students, they don't major in music because they do not find what they want. They're always exposed to other things. So I thought, why not bring those things to the AUC and just try to fill in these gaps? And that's why I teach a course called Singers on Stage. And this course is specifically for people who can sing. I teach them how to stand on the stage, how to interpret a song, how to personalize it, and how to deliver it to the audience. Because this is something I think most of the singers in the world might lack. I'm not saying that I'm better than anyone in doing this, but
no, but
I mean,
you've specialized in that as well. That has shown so much in how you've shown in the
I study music and I study theater, and I've been in the music business for a long time. And I think that I might be able to help others to do that. But of course, in those genres, like in
Yes.
pop, in musicals, in rock, and folk, in Arabic,
Hmm.
anything but classical, because we do have a lot of classical teachers
Yes.
around,
Hmm.
so they're the experts in that.
Yeah.
And then I decided that I want to do a choir. I want to conduct a choir. And again, there is no choir in the Arab world that is focusing on pop and
Yes.
rock. And yeah, we always go to either Arabic choirs or classical choirs or church choirs.
Yes.
So you don't really find that variety as much.
That's true.
So I don't know if I'm right, but Acapop or the pop ensemble of AUC might be one of few or maybe the only one in the Arab world
Hmm.
that does choir arrangements for pop and Arabic songs, and with a new taste and modern taste to it.
That's nice.
So yeah, and alhamdulillah, after I've introduced those courses, they became some of the few courses that are really popular in AUC, and I get students from all around the campus and from all fields. I
Yes.
have engineers who sing in the choirs. I have, like, it's like you wouldn't even imagine, yani, someone who's an electronics engineer who wants to sing. It's like far away from the
Exactly.
field, and it's
But
yeah,
that's a
and come
beautiful
from
thing.
psychology.
It's, as you said, music is the language of the soul. And I mean, that language can be spoken by everyone, regardless of what your interests are. And the
Exactly.
beautiful thing is that you went back and said, I love the program. I just need to enrich it in a
Yeah.
way that I'm capable of, and that adds flavor to what others are studying.
Yes, yes. I'm very glad for that. And ever since, yani, I can't thank God enough for that. Because ever since our concerts are always like sold out, and it's a huge success, and I'm really glad for that. Of course, that when Corona came, we couldn't continue for that last semester.
Yeah.
Hopefully, starting next semester, it will be a bit easier and we can go back again. But I mean, I'm very happy with this step in my life. Of course, it takes much more time for me now. It takes a lot of work. Maybe I focus. I started to, for a while, I started to focus less on my music. But then again, when I found out that the AUC is taking most of my time, I went there and I told them that again I need a break. Like, I need a small break to just organize myself and know my priorities,
Yeah.
and I will come back again. So yeah, and I did that, and I found out that now I really need to focus on my music as well. I
Yeah.
can just ignore that and just start doing everything else I like.
Yeah.
So
But it's also
yeah.
because your music, you started connecting to your music on a different level, and it started to become a lot more personal. So it's,
Mm.
I mean, I believe it's always been personal for you, but the way I viewed you as a viewer and as a fan was that you brought your element to the music that you were presenting. It was never like, I'm just reciting other songs because I've got the voice for it. You always had your flavor infused into it. But now, because you're finding yourself more in your music, then that is becoming more of, maybe at the beginning you were like, as you said, maybe you got pre-engaged by the other things because you're a bit intimidated by taking that step.
Mhm.
And then now that you're confident, like, no, I did the right thing. Now I want to put
Mhm.
my energy and
Yes,
my focus
yes,
here.
yes, of course. And I've always had this problem actually, and I try to improve it in myself, that when I get occupied by something, I just tend to forget myself in it.
Yes.
It's like when I was busy with the AUC for a while, I just lost myself in it. For another while, when we were doing those episodes of Sahibat Saida with
Yeah.
Isaac Yunus, you just I don't know why, but when it comes to working in something that I like, or just work in general, I just tend to lose myself, and sometimes I get to a place where, how did that happen?
Yeah.
Like
How did I get here?
I don't know. Oh, yeah, but it started with like 2 hours a week, and now I can't find 1 hour for anything else but that thing. But this is and I know that this is an issue in me, in Nisma in general. I get too um, driven away and stuff, but I always and when I realized that, like the moment I realized that, so I just stop and, like, take a small break and, like, okay, rearranging time. So everything around you here and you here, okay, this is what I'm going to do.
but
So I
but
know
that
that
is
it's a
very,
fault, but yeah,
no, it's not a
I try
fault
to,
actually. It's that's the point. Let's work on your mindset here. I can't skip it. I'm sorry. The coach hat has to go on. It's
free
not
session, free
exactly.
session.
It is definitely not a fault. It's something you should be very proud of. And that is actually, it signifies your passion about what you do. It is just, as you said, and because especially that is very common with artists, and that is a state of flow, is when there's an energy flow and your focus keeps going where you're doing. And you find that artists, for example, if they're writing a piece of music, or they're, or writing a book, or even, painting, they can lose themselves for an hour, and then, kind of put their head up as like, what just happened? I lost like 4 or 5 hours.
Mhm.
With you, it might be a bit extended, but that is something to be proud of. But also, now that you have the awareness of it, this is where you need to also keep yourself in check on a
Yeah.
daily basis, rather than just wait for weeks where you flow for too long, and you
Mhm.
realize that you've taken away from other things and from yourself, which is the most important now. Is that you keep a daily check in the evening. You could do kind of a 10-minute before you sleep kind of review of what happened today, what took up my time and my energy, and
Mhm.
did it fulfill me? If you're fulfilled, sure, keep going, but don't think of it as something that you want to not do anymore, because that's
Mhm.
you and that's your passion.
Yeah, yeah. It's just, that's why I just, right now I work on, um yani stopping myself whenever I feel that this happened, and just,
Overwhelming, yeah.
yeah, take a step back and just review everything and then start again. And eventually I will get driven to do the same thing again. But I know, like, whenever I do it, I just, okay,
Yes,
one
exactly.
1 minute,
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
rearrange it, and then I get driven into another direction. Like,
Mm.
لا طب فاهمة قصدي؟ يعني my life has been كده. And that's why I think I was, very late in taking the decision to do my own, music, because I've always been preoccupied by stuff.
Mhm.
Uh, Whenever others, like, I'm good at executing stuff,
Yeah. Yes.
so I get a lot of projects that they need me to be the musical director of, or to do something so that we do a big, show. But I'm good at running those things,
Yes.
and whenever I agree to something like that, I completely forget my career. Like,
Yeah.
I not my career, but I mean my music, my
Yeah.
original side. I'm more of an musical administrative.
Yeah.
So this is what made me actually lose a few years, because I'm
Again,
busy.
again, you didn't
And
lose
of
them.
course I'm achieving in a different direction,
Yes,
but
exactly.
it's not for me the main direction. Like, I've been doing side projects a lot, and it's been taking my whole year. And then when I took that break, I decided, okay, no more side projects, because apparently I tend to find myself, like, all over
But
the place, and I just can't stop it. So I
but
need to
but
do.
that's the point, Inisma, that all the projects that you did added value to you as much as you brought value to the place. And now you are ready to take on your music in a different manner and a different path. And you never lost time, and it was never delayed. It was just, now is the time. And I think
Yeah,
for
no, I
thing,
don't
because
regret anything I've done,
exactly.
بالعكس. And I love every single day of working
Yeah.
on any musical project.
And because
This
I
is
say, because I relate to you on that level, is for me, I thought that I lost so much time because I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. And as I say, I reinvented myself at the age of 40. And at the age of 40, I realized that, this is what I want to do. But then I also thought I'm too late, because, alongside there were people in their early 20s and are like, oh, and we're doing this and we're making that much money. And I was like, oh God, I've lost it. But then again, I realized, but what I bring now to the world with my work is different than everyone else. And that's why I stopped comparing myself. I stopped comparing myself a long time ago. And I realized that this is my time. I still have a good 40, 50 years, inshallah, in my life where I could still be giving. I could still reinvent myself every day if I want. I can still enrich myself with new experiences and everything that passed. So I've got 20 plus years of a career behind me. I'm like, that in itself is what I'm building on. This is my platform. I'm taking from all of that to bring myself into a new world and a new adventure and a new platform. I did business, I did corporate, I did, private businesses where brick and mortar. And suddenly I'm realizing that I have to reinvent myself. So I say I had to unlearn, relearn, and learn new things of being someone who conducts mostly online stuff. I was like, what do you mean I have to go live on my group? I'm like, I hate going live. I talk to people. I don't talk to a screen. And then I realized, okay, so I have to talk to a screen to get to the people that I want to get to. And I think that is a beautiful thing about finding yourself and your identity, and then reinventing yourself, and then you keep going, building on everything you've got. You're never starting from scratch. You're just continuing more steps and more bricks along the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
So speaking of reinventing ourselves, curl bumps.
Yeah.
So
I have them the same, small
exactly.
because
So the curls are not
in a
all over
in a
today,
small
but we can
bun.
see them.
Yeah, in a small
I think
bun
that
today.
was, I think for the both of us separately, it has been a big decision to embrace our curls and go out to the world and say, I'm a curly head. I was like, I even got
Yeah.
my mom saying, is like, okay, aren't you going to go do your hair? We've got an event. No, that's my hair. I was like, what do you mean that's your hair? I was like, that's
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
I'm done. No more hairdressers except to have a trim or
Been
something.
there. Yes, I've been there. Yeah. It actually the decision of um letting yourself just be
Yeah.
was much easier than facing the world with it. Like, guys, just it's okay. Just let it go.
Yeah, exactly.
Let it go. يعني it's been hard enough for me to
Yes.
just walk out like this with my hair all over the place, and it was the day I took the decision, it was in 2017, was it? Yeah, it was in the middle of 2017 when
Yeah,
I
me
decided
too.
that, yeah, really, oh
Yeah,
yeah, I'm just I'm just gonna
I'm done.
skip
I'm
the
done.
hairdresser thing. Yeah, I'm done, exactly, because my hair was burnt out.
Yeah.
My hair was so thin and so exhausted.
Yes.
بجد I was I would look at myself كده and like,
Yeah.
again,
Now what?
how did I
What do I
get
do with
here?
it?
It's like,
Yeah. And the point is, you
what
keep thinking to yourself, what do I do with it now?
I
It was
exactly,
either in a bun or straightened out at the hairdresser. I'm like, and I don't want
exactly.
either.
Yeah, exactly. So I just lived with it for a while, and I wore a wig to my concerts because there
Okay.
was no way I was going like that. Like,
Okay.
and again, there's nothing to do with it because even if I put it up in a bun or something, it still looks يعني
Yeah.
cheap كده يعني فاهمة؟ ف I just wore a bun for around a year, that first year, and I would like tuck all my hair inside. So I'm not going to do my hair. It's not an attempted يعني to do
Yeah.
my hair. And then after that year, I felt like, okay, now we're starting to
Yes.
go somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so I decided to use my hair, but again, never fully loose, يعني
Yes.
open.
Same here.
يعني
Yeah.
I would braid the part.
Yeah. Yeah.
مش عارف إيه. I would
I would
put it
always put
all
it
كده.
back for 2 years. I would
أيوة.
never have it around my face. It was always back. And then until
Yeah,
one day I was doing a photo shoot for my website, and it was also very uncomfortable for me coming out and, having a website in my name. It's like, who am I? I'm not like Madonna having a website in my name. And I was doing a photo shoot for it. And, the photographer was a lady. And she's like, why don't you put your hair down? So we tried different things. I'm like, what do you mean put my hair down? It's got pins in it.
yeah,
I'm like, no, put it down. I was like, oh my God. And you see my photos with my curly hair. I was like, it's like with the face, it's like, I can't believe I'm doing this. But it was that. And
exactly.
then one day I'm like, you know what? I'm going to let it down. I mean, I can style it any way I want, but I don't have a problem letting it down anymore. but it was also a journey of growth because I'm like, I followed every Instagram account on curly hair. I brought
Me too.
every product to test it with the non-GMO, nothing. I went shopping. I ordered from the
Half
state.
of my money went for the product, it's like
And
yeah,
I
I was
wanted to make
wondering,
sure
was
it's
it
not
a
all over
right
the place.
decision? Was it the right decision after all? Like I have no money.
Yeah,
Gosh,
exactly.
everything went to the product.
It was much cheaper to straighten it, but
Yeah, yeah.
that it was also a journey, and that's why I bring it up with you, because I realized then that yes, my hair was stressed out as I was, and now I need to nurture not just my hair. I need to nurture me, because that's how I nurture my hair. So I also started embracing healthier foods, organic as much as possible, and all of that. And it started reflecting. I actually put this post on my group, and the ladies are like, oh my God. And my sister sent me, is like, I can't believe you put that photo. But it was like 3 years ago, where I just chopped all my hair off and I had an undercut. So half my head was bald, literally under the hair. And it was like I woke up with my hair all over the place every single day. And then I put a photo next to it of 2 years later of nurturing my hair. And everyone's like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
that. It is
I have that
taking
same
care.
photo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We
I
have to
have
share that
the
photo.
yeah,
But it is that. It is, and that it's also signifies the transition of taking care of you, that
yes,
it's not an overnight feat. It is
yes.
not something that
Really
just happens. You it,
important.
it's a process. It's a journey.
Actually, I never thought that I would be strong about my hair for
Yeah.
that long.
Yeah.
I thought that I was going to just
Crumble under
break
the
in the
pressure.
middle
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
the life doesn't really matter anymore. It's okay. I'll just go burn it and it's okay. But I mean, the more I noticed that my hair is actually going back to its natural pattern and it's
Yeah.
starting to look nice, the more it gave me like it was gas for
That's
me
true. That's true.
to okay, I'm not doing that. Yani, if in those 3 4 years, I've only done my hair like 4 times or something. Just كده يعني I do it for change when I
Yeah.
خلاص بقى يعني I'm not in the mood for doing my
Yeah.
hair right now, so I'll just go straighten it
Because
يعني
that it
and
also taking care of the curls takes time, by the way. I plan a day at least ahead. I was like, okay, this is my wash day and this is my how my
yeah.
curls need to look.
Exactly. I always do my hair a day before an event
Yeah.
because cannot handle a day of an event and my hair at the
Yeah.
same time. It's either my hair or the event.
It's either or.
يعني unless you're not going to postpone the event for a day, I'll have to work it يعني
I don't do hair
early.
wash and taking care of this hair. It's like my husband looks at me. He's like, seriously? I'm like, yeah. Well, first I have to wash my hair, and then I put it up in the towel, and then I have to wait a couple of hours for it to kind of dry up, and he's like, okay, whatever. And like now, even when we go on vacation, like we're going swimming in the sea, he's like, no, I'm not wetting my hair today. He's like, what do you mean you're not wetting your hair? No, my hair's up today. It's not hair wash day today. I'll do it every other day.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, well, speaking of your
مرزوق اهو مرزوق بس بس
speaking
مرزوق
of your dog,
بيشرب.
actually, I was just about to bring him up. Is it a girl or a boy?
It's a boy called مرزوق.
Marzouk.
مرزوق.
Marzouk. So speaking of Marzouk, this is also something that you're very passionate about.
Yes.
Saving dogs. Hello?
Yeah, يعني of course it's not I don't really have unfortunately يعني I don't have the time or the resources to like go and save dogs and stuff. I would love to and I've always had that dream of doing a shelter.
Yeah.
But I've seen a friend of mine with her shelter and I came to the conclusion that oh my god يعني if I'm going to do a shelter I'm definitely not the one going there every day.
Yeah.
Her life is
Dedicated to
has
the mission.
stopped.
Yes.
Has stopped. It's like an everyday full job
Yeah.
commitment. It's it's really really hard what they do. Seriously. So right now my contribution is more donations. I might go visit the dogs and stuff like that. But for me, I feel kind of fulfilled a little bit because we've rescued Marzouk already.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm contributing to the world
Yes,
of
of course.
rescue. I would love to do more, of course, but this needs a lot of time. And I think that when I have enough money to do that shelter, then I would actually hire a lot of people to just
Staff
stay
and
there
yeah.
the whole day, so I can be there as a part timer,
Yes.
not an everyday job, and it's not a normal like 9 to 5 job. It's
Yeah,
a
of
whole
course not.
day.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and what yeah, it's and just spreading people out to rescue the dogs and the cats, and
Of course.
it's really hectic, and I'm really proud of those
Of
who
course. It's a
decided to
very,
take
very
on
humane thing
that.
to do. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, it's beautiful, and I try my best to help out in donations, of course, yani, and I try to
To advocate and
spread
use
the
your
word.
platforms to
Yeah,
talk about them. Yes.
exactly, exactly. يعني احنا my friend has a shelter has called Unleashed,
Hmm.
and there's another shelter that I know is called Hope, and we have a lot of shelters, يعني alhamdulillah, and I really hope that people would actually care to look at their Instagram pages and donate. It's a great cause. It's just a
Why?
great cause that you are the voice of the voiceless, you know.
Exactly. Please do send me the links and I'll include them as well
I will
in the
definitely, yeah,
announcement.
yeah,
Yeah.
I will, because I know in Corona they have been going through, and generally they're going through very rough times.
Yes, I
You,
understand.
their only source of money is the donations,
Yes,
but in Corona بقى,
I
it's
know.
it's a
Because people
whole,
stopped visiting and people, that didn't help as well.
and people don't have that spare money to
Yes.
to give to
Yeah.
the dogs or the cats, or it's very hard. Marzu, we found him around 3.5 years ago. My sister actually found him in her university.
Hmm.
He was kind of thrown on the side كده because a bigger dog has just bitten him in the
Ouch.
back. So
Ouch.
yeah, he was around a month and a half, and he was bitten in his back, and just the security just put him on مش عارفة, a piece of
Cardboard or
newspaper
something.
كده, and they put him aside, left him to die in peace. يعني. My sister had an exam that day. She she's seen him. We're going up to the exam, so she went. She finished, and when she came down, she went back to him and she called me. And she told me, I found this dog and this happened, and I can't find any vet in the neighborhood. So I tried calling a lot of vets. It was a Sunday, I remember.
Hmm.
There was no vet open on that day, and I don't know why.
Okay.
The only
Was
one
it was
open, and I was then not married yet. I was
yeah.
living in Sheikh Zayed with my family. The only clinic that was open was in Sheikh Zayed. The only one I found. So it's like destined
Yeah,
uh,
to be home.
destiny, yeah. So I told her, okay, then bring him. Yani bring him to Zayd. There's no other way. Yeah.
Mhm.
So she brought him. We went to the clinic. They did whatever they had to do. And then um, we had to just keep him until I find a shelter.
Mhm.
And when I called the shelters, they told me that they cannot take a dog right away. Yani because he was bitten. So I need to wait
Okay.
to make sure that he's fine, that bite didn't
Cause any diseases or
affect him
anything. Yeah.
exactly, and he needed to finish his course of uh,
Medications and antibiotics.
vaccination.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And what I found out afterwards, that between each vaccination is like a month and a half. So I had him for about 4 months. I'm like, I'm not giving him up
Yeah,
after
exactly.
2 months.
He's mine now.
No, no, and I thought it was like a week,
Yeah.
two, and then we خلاص يعني كده, and then يعني he was totally paralyzed, uh, like his two back legs were totally paralyzed from that bite,
Ouch.
because we figured out يعني after a while that bite actually broke his spine, and then it خلاص it what's it called بقى لحم التاني,
Oh,
يعني it
okay.
got
So
reconnected
yeah, it
again,
went and
يعني
healed
but
again and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, it healed again, but يعني in not really in a correct way.
Mhm.
So it affected the spinal cord, and that's why he had issues for a few years uh, uh, in his both legs. He's not always stable. He
Mhm.
falls, and it took us a while, of course, بقى physiotherapy with medications, with injections for the nervous system, B12, and all of that to get him to stand up again. And now La Marzouk is fine. He walks and he jumps and he runs, but of course he's not always any he's 80% back to a normal dog. And the doctor said that this is as good as any
It's
as
as
far
good
as it
as it
can
gets
get,
for now. Yeah.
as good as it gets. We can't problems with spinal cords and the nervous system and the nerves and all of that, they never go back to 100%. So
Oh, but
خلاص
bless
يعني
you. You
yeah,
you took care of him, and like I
yeah,
know what
yeah,
it feels like to have a pet. Our cat, we adopted her when she was like what, a month and a half old,
yeah,
and she died quite young. She died at the age of 9, and I felt like, a piece of us. For us, she was our daughter before we had our son.
yeah,
And
yeah,
we traveled with her, we brought her here, and she had like, she had her mood, she had her room, and that kind of thing. But I know how
yeah.
it is to have a pet, so bless you for taking care of him. And
Thank you.
for
I'll send you his Instagram. I have an Instagram for his
oh,
journey.
that's nice.
And you can see him from the day we've got him until now and how he evolved and all the medical journey that we've been
Ah,
through
that's
with him.
amazing. But that's the point. And I think we can use this opportunity also to talk about dogs and cats and pets in general, and what they mean to individuals, and how we could take care of them. And we were very, very cautious and conscious of educating our son about mercy towards animals and about taking care of them. And that we've got some stray cats in the compound. He still puts food and drink for them, food and water and stuff. And even before, sometimes we used to put like water out for the birds, whatever it is. It's just that we're
Yeah,
human, and we should
it's
be
compassion.
humane and compassionate, for sure.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
hopefully this is a message that goes across. So
Of
hopefully
course, and I would actually, I mean, would love to tell everybody that if they are looking for a best friend for life, and they should
hit the
adopt.
shelters. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, adopt exactly. I mean, not shop, not buy.
Yeah.
There are a lot of stray dogs and stray cats, stray animals in general that need this love. They need someone to just pick them out of the shitty life they're going through, and they will be so grateful for you. They will love you like nobody else. And because they know they have this gratitude inside of them, they know that you took them away from the hardships and you brought him into a home and you're loving him. So I would really recommend that people would go to shelters, and even if they're not going to adopt, they don't have the time, they don't have the money, because these are like the golden rules for adopting any pet. You need to have the money for it, you need to have the time for it, and you need to
Have the
understand
space
that,
for them as well.
and the space exactly. So if they don't have those 3 points, please do not go and get any pet, because you will be torturing them.
But you can
And
still support
it's
them. You can
not
still
worth
go
it. You
visit. You
can
can still pet
exactly, you
them.
can
You can
go
still
visit,
food and
play
water.
with
And
the dogs and cats, and just spend time with them. All donate,
yeah,
do whatever you want. But when you decide to adopt, sometimes people go for the cutest dog or the
yeah,
fastest or the most hyper. There are others that maybe would need the attention or the love more, like the more the shy ones, the ones with the boring colors,
yeah,
the ones that with I mean that are missing a limb, or having
yeah.
a certain issue. They also lose confidence in themselves,
Yes, that's true.
among other dogs. It's always, you will feel more fulfilled, you'll feel a better person if you think you can help another being
Yes.
go through life. Because normal dogs, like, they know their way around, okay,
Yeah.
they play. But so like Marzouk, for example, if they always have issues in standing and they fall and stuff like that, of course you will do a lot more effort, for sure,
Yeah.
taking care of him and doctors and all of that. But it just feels different when you help
Of course.
those dogs regain the confidence in themselves again and start acting normally. And I assure you, they will give you everything they have. the unconditional love.
Unconditional love. True. That's true.
يعني ف-
Nesma, this has been amazing. Thank you.
thank you.
I still can't. I'm sorry. I know this is putting you on the spot, but I can't leave you without a song. Come on. We have to do this. I mean, I haven't had any other singing guests on the podcast, so let's do a first time.
Okay.
If you sing for us something, please.
Sure. And since we're on the topic of empowerment and growth, there is a song called على طبيعتي. I'm just being myself.
Yeah.
And I'd like to sing it.
Thank you.
Sing a part of it for you.
Thank you.
وإيه يعني أروح في طريق ما حدش غيري يوم مشي فيه. لا اسمعني، أنا الحلم اللي كل الناس هتحلم بيه. وإيه يعني أروح في طريق ما حدش غيري يوم مشي فيه. لا اسمعني، أنا الحلم اللي كل الناس هتحلم بيه. بدون تعقيد هعيش ومكملة براحتي وقلبي حديد، عشان أنا راضية بصراحتي. لا مش هقبل كلام حد يوم يكسرني بيه، واللي هيرفض تمام عمري ما أبقى في يوم عليه. لا مش هقبل كلام حد يوم يكسرني بيه، واللي هيرفض تمام عمري ما أبقى في يوم عليه. أنا كده بعيش على طبيعتي، أنا كده بشكلي وطريقتي أنا، ولا هقبل إن أبقى حلمه راح. أنا كده بعيش على طبيعتي، أنا كده بشكلي وطريقتي أنا، ولا عمري هضعف لأي جراح.
Oh, I'm okay. I'm getting emotional now. Thank you. That was amazing. Your talent is breathtaking. That's the word.
Oh,
That's the word.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I really enjoyed my time. It was a really nice interview, and I hope we get to see each other in person.
I hope so. Inshallah, when I make it
any
to
chance
Cairo,
you're coming to
definitely.
Egypt.
As soon as we get over this hurdle, I'll use my words, because I always say let's use empowering words. This is just a setback in our way. It's only a hurdle and an obstacle. But inshallah, next time I'm in Cairo, we definitely have to meet. And we can do another follow-up podcast and talk about your journey and finding yourself and finding your voice and sharing beautiful music that is just empowering in so many ways.
Thank you so much. And I'd like to invite you all to hear my new song, كل شمس وليها ظل.
Yes,
again on all platforms. It's out. I hope you like it, and it's an empowerment song as well.
Yes,
it has a very nice message, and it's the first one in my new EP or mini album. And we're finishing up that album, and hopefully it will be released very soon.
Thank you. Best of luck, and stay shining, stay being the person and the beautiful source of joy that you are.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Nesma. Thank you, everyone. As always, empowered you, empowers others. Love, abundance, and prosperity to you all. Bye. Thank you for listening to the Empowered to Grow podcast. For further engagement with a tribe of empowered women, join my Facebook group, Empowered to Grow, or visit my website, www.hananulbasha.com. I'll catch you on the next episode. And until then, know that empowered you empowers others. Love, abundance, and prosperity to you all.